Hi and welcome to another 5-minute session, and this time about how you create those lines that comes after year of rain on a wall. So you need 2 textures at least. You can get them wherever you want. Yes, you have some wall texture, so you need some type of base color and you need some type of normal map. And if you have that, you can just follow along in a good way. So let's start right away. So to make those lines, we need, of course, a lot of lines up here and almost nothing down here. So we can use the UV and just separate that by selecting separate X, Y, Z. And if we use the Y-axis, you can see then that we have darker down here and then white here, and that is exactly what we want. However, we would like this to be more noisy, so we use noise. So Shift A, and then you go to texture and select the noise texture. And you can use the UV for that as well. And just to subtract between the separate here. So Shift A, converter, math, and put in a subtract. And when you do that, you get more like this, which is good to get these lines here, but it doesn't look like lines right now. So to fix that, we can change the scale, and we can do that in a lot of ways, but mapping is a lazy way and good way to do it. So just press Shift A, go to vector, and there we have mapping. With mapping you can change location, rotation, and in our case also the scale. So we decrease the y-axis, and you can put that to a really low number like 0.05 or something like that, and you get your lines. And you can then increase the scale a bit, perhaps the roughness, a little bit of the lacunarity, and then you can see all these lines here. So now we just need to connect it with the base color, and we can do that by adding a color mix. So Shift A, go to color, mix color. Put that in here and put the base color in the top, and then you can use the result from the subtract into the factor, and then you can take the principal out so you can see the result here. And now you see that we get something up here, and we can then change it if we would like to have it more dark, so perhaps more green. But we do a mix of something that we should add to the base color. It's not so good to use mix, because mix will erase the base color totally from the background. So instead use darken or use overlay. That is always better, because then you keep some of the base color. So we can use darken in this case, and right now as soon as I use it, you can see that some of these things disappear and it's hard to see. So what we can do then is to filter the noise so we only get the parts that we want, and that we can do with the map range. So I select Shift A, go to converter, and take the map range in here. And with the map range, I just move all these first, so it looks a little bit better. So now we have everything in here. With the map range, we should first of all take away the clamp, and then we can increase the from min here. And when we do that, you can see now that everything is growing in a good way here, and we can of course increase the scale a bit, and when we do it, you get more of these lines here. Of course, also change lacunarity or detail or whatever you want, and also the color if you want it to be a bit darker here, because then you also can see more clearly how it looks. So most people just stop here and say, okay, now we try this and it works, but we get very straight lines that doesn't take in account all the things that the bricks has, like bumps and so on. But we can do that rather easy by using the normal map that we had in our texture. So if I just take that and drag it to the starting position, see if I can get it like this, and then just separate the colors. So separate color and use the red because that is the X variation from the brick here. Put in a multiplication because we don't need to change it a lot, just a small amount. You can put this to 0.1 or something like that. And put this information to the noise here before we do the mapping, so from the beginning, by just adding an add here. So Shift A, converter, vector math, and then we need to have some combine here. So Shift A, converter, combine XYZ, put that to the X and the vector to this one. Then we take this in account, and to see it really good, we just take the factor to the surface. So then we can see what happens here. So this is now the result with the add. If I take away this, you get these straight lines. It doesn't take in account the bricks at all. But with the normal map, we can then get information of all these bumps that are on the brick, and we get a more natural growth of the lines that comes from all these years of rain into a pattern. And then we can just control it with the multiply here. So it can also be a very small number if you just want small variations, and if you want bigger, then you just increase it, and then you get these. So that is how you do it, and then you can just put this back and we get everything as we want to. And we of course need to take the subtract to the factors, we get it back here. And then we get all the variations in a good way, and we can then play with the color, we can play with the, let's see if we can find the noise. There we have the noise. Play with the detail of the noise here. And with small detail you get clearer, and if you take up the detail you get more noisy pattern that goes down. Okay, so now I've done a lot more than 5 minutes. I'm sorry for that, but hopefully you learned a little bit how you use the different nodes to create these type of things on your texture. So I just say bye for now and see you tomorrow.